Hi friends, my name is Haley Comet and welcome to my cosmic corner of the internet where we talk about all things astrology and lately astrological self-care. Yes, it is a thing. And we mostly look to the moon sign, as the moon sign does describe our internal private landscape, the nurturing we received or wanted to receive, and how to self-soothe. So Libra moons today is all about you, your key to unlocking the self-care and confidence that you so deserve. So first, let's discuss how Libra is ruled by the scales. So it's symbolized by the scales, rather. So Libras are always inherently trying to find balance. It makes you a gifted mediator because you weigh out both sides of what anybody tells you. You contemplate both points of view. When interacting with people, as Libra is a sign that is associated with other people, you are very driven by this sense of inherent fairness. So you listen to people, you care about their opinion, you might even neglect your own opinion in order to soothe their side because you have such a beautiful understanding of what it takes to interact with the other. So any other person, balancing out their point of view with your own. So I'm not saying that all Libras are, these people-pleasing signs, not at all, but there is a propensity for Libra moon, since moon describes your deepest innermost need. And for Libra, that is people. There is a tendency that shows up with Libra moons as they can often push their own emotions aside to soothe and please the other person. This is deeply embedded into Libra moon. You chose to have Libra energy show up in your chart oftentimes when you grew up in an environment that was not balanced and you had to be the intermediator. You had to be diplomatic about how you responded. So I often will find this placement in children who had households that were, a little bit out of balance, or they had disagreements in the house, and that child was put upon to be the intermediator to try to balance out these two opposing parties. It embeds the Libra native as an adult with this deep-seated need for peace and for harmony. That is what Libra wants to operate in, a world that is peaceful and harmonizes with the individuals around them. And oftentimes it was because that was not the case for you as a child. Or you could have been, the one in friend groups who's always trying to balance everything out. You were given this placement that's trying to find balance because you might have, chose a lifetime where there wasn't really much and you had to learn that. So with that deep embedded need for peace and harmony, there can be a tendency to brush things under the rug, whether it's your feelings about a topic or the truth of it, in order to please other people or to please this notion of keeping the peace, keeping the harmony in their environment. And just know, Libra moons, that peace is beautiful, harmony is beautiful, but if it's not sincere, if it's not authentic, it's hollow, it's not real. So finding ways to create peace and harmony within your own life without sacrificing the truth of the matter, whether it's your feelings or, bringing something up that needs to be said. Libras want to operate in a world that is beautiful. You have a Venus-ruled moon. So Venus is the planet of art, of beauty, of women, of finances. So with a Venus-ruled moon, something that can deeply kind of soothe you is creating beauty in your external reality. So you might love, spending time with beautiful, stylish people, or just people whose, sense of aesthetic really inspires you. Having a beautiful environment that you live in, awesome decor. I swear, I lived with a Libra moon, and she had such brilliant style. I loved when she moved in because all of a sudden everything just got cuter. So nourishing that side of yourself that does want to live in a beautiful world, that can kind of help you soothe this sense of wanting to operate in a harmonious, peaceful, beautiful world. So however that looks for you, separate yourself from people who are conflict driven, who are always trying to create conflict where there could be none. Because that's upsetting for your internal self. With this think of like those scales weighing back and forth. It's this inherent kind of obstacle for you to find that center. So it's really essential to spend time with people who kind of allow you to find that center. Obviously not sacrificing the truth or anything like that, but just people who just feel harmonious to be around, who make you feel peaceful. Nurturing the one-to-one relationships within your life is a deep need. My mom is a Libra Moon, and she's one of the most amazing people ever. She's such a people person is what I'm saying. There's a deep need for a Libra Moon to connect to people. Your moon, you're always trying to feed it, and Libra rules other. So to nourish your one-to-one intimate relationships that are harmonious, that remind you of the good in life, that remind you of the good in yourself, oftentimes Libra Moon realize significant things through talking it out in a one-to-one environment. So ensuring that your friends are able to support you in that way. I've also seen it many times where Libra Moons will allow themselves to be in friendships where they are just mirroring back to the friend, everything the friend wants to hear or the advice the friend wants to hear, and not really taking the time to allow their own problems and concerns to be brought up. Because Libra represents other, right? So there could be this mirroring sensation of, being that friend that, anyone deserves, but then not getting that in return because it's always fixated on other. But Libra Moons realize that it's not a super introspective moon sign. I do not mean that in a bad way. It's a beautiful moon sign. I just mean that a lot of times these huge epiphanies, these huge realizations within your life come in the realm of really personal one-to-one conversations. So really do some work around your friend group of analyzing, does this person really listen to me? Do I feel supported and held as much as I do for them? Because Libra Moon, you're a beautiful friend. You're a beautiful partner. Romance might be another need. So you and Taurus are both Venus-ruled moons, right? So Taurus moon, Libra moon. Where it differs is that Taurus uses their Venusian beautiful aesthetics mostly for physical things, gardening, crafting, things like that, physical, taste, touch, see, smell. Libra is an air sign. So because Taurus is an earth sign, Libra is an air sign. So that sense of beauty and harmony mostly takes place within air-like places, which is communication, which is intellect, which is, connection with other human beings. So it could be a deep need as Libra Moon that being alone terrifies you, or not having a partner really is frightening, so much that you might hold on to relationships after they've been dead because you don't want to, live on your own or have to make your own decisions. It's easier for you to partner with somebody else. That's another kind of thing. With that, balancing, Libra Moons can have a hard time making decisions. So be intentional with your non-negotiables, because you live in a world where it's it doesn't matter, whatever you want, whatever keeps the peace, whatever is harmonious. I don't want to bring up something that is going to disrupt things. But decide what is non-negotiable for you. No, I do not like sushi. I will not be going to sushi. And it's okay to speak your mind. The harmony of your group is not worth sacrificing your own peace of mind and your own, preferences. If you don't like sushi, say so. If you don't want to go downtown, say so. It's okay to speak up. If they're real people, then it won't be this huge thing. But also know that there is a journey for Librans to take on to learn their inherent, authentic sense of what they prefer, their preferences in food and home and whatever, because a lot of times it could have been embedded, because what I was talking about earlier in childhood, where you're trying to wrestle these two, parents who could have been disagreeing or in this kind of conflict-ridden reality, that you learn to sacrifice what you needed, and you might have sacrificed your preferences altogether, as though there was a right answer and a wrong answer. You didn't want to be the one to disrupt the peace by saying what was, what you actually preferred. So part of you having a Libra moon is going on this journey of, what do I prefer? Who am I? What would I pick for myself? Because oftentimes you could default to, I don't want to make a decision because it's easier for other people to, rather than doing the work to learn your own inherent preferences. And once, Libra does the work, they'll learn what they prefer and how to be strong within that. Because I hope I'm not making it sound like you all are not strong people or that you are, people pleasers, because that's not the case. Libra is so governed by this sense of fairness, scales associated with the justice system, and you listen to both points of view. And with an air moon, intellect, rationaling things out is really essential to you. You are driven by the sense of fairness and justice, and you can stand up for things that you feel is wrong, but it mostly will be for other people, if that makes sense. You can see if a friend of yours is being mistreated and stand up for it, or if there's a cause you're passionate about and people are being mistreated, stand up for it. There's a lot of strength there. There's just, the journey is learning how to stand up for your authentic beliefs and yourself, and a lot of Libra moons obviously will be driven to the justice system because of this inherent sense of fairness. So also, finding ways to kind of channel your justice sensibilities into something. Libras want to live in a world beyond just harmonious and beautiful. They want to live in a world that's fair, where people who, haven't had their voice listened to are heard and understood for what they're saying. So find an avenue in which you're able to kind of create that fairness in your life, or feel like you're working towards a world that is more fair and is more just, because that is a deep internal need for a Libra moon. The Libra moon, you are truly the friend that anyone would want and the partner that anyone would want. You have beautiful style, gifted, people person, gifted with just a natural sense of social charisma. I just would implore you in terms of self-care to give yourself permission to spend time alone. Draw the focus inward. Journaling could be really soothing as a Libra moon. Dealing with any sort of art and words, so maybe poetry. I say that because Venus, rules art, and then it's in an air sign, which rules words, communication. So maybe having a journal, having a blog. No one even has to read it. It's just a way of you to kind of rationalize and understand your internal world, rather than looking to other people to make sense of yourself, or looking to other people to decide your own preferences. Go on this journey of being on your own. Be selective with your friends. Ensure that they, are being just as good of a friend as you are to them. Find ways to channel your fair and justice oriented mind, and create balance in your life. I mean, that's always what the Libra moon is looking for, is create balance between their two opposing scales. So ensuring that you're not going, you're not spending too much time with people or spending too much time at work. It's a constant journey for you to find balance. The reason you chose this, because you are living in a life that is not balanced. That's why Libra's always trying to find that center of space. So ensuring that you kind of discover it for yourself. Be mindful. I'm not saying this is all of you, but of course, I've got to touch on perhaps the shadow side of this placement, is that Libra, because of the Venus and because of the air influence, sometimes, and not always, can be really caught up in superficial things regarding people. If their partner looks good to the external world, if they look good in their work, or they, they're getting accolades for looking good, because there is kind of this predisposition to being fixated on what things look to the outside, because Libra is a sign of the other. So ensuring that in addition to curating a life that looks beautiful on the outside, you are doing the work to ensure it feels just as beautiful and just as soothing on the inside. And in my opinion, that's most often done with intentional solitude. If you've never been single, maybe even just a year, to just get really clear on your internal world, and really analyzing your friendships in terms of the quality rather than just how they look. Using your beautiful aesthetic to create art, because it's what, you guys are good at that. But ensuring that the internal world is just as nourishing as the external. So Libra moons, share below what has been your experience with this moon sign. You all are so just lovely. The ones that I know are just lovely, bubbly people. So share your experience down below. Next week will be Scorpio moon. Ooh, we're going down into the depths. Any questions you may have for me, or, requests, if you want me to move up your moon sign, I probably won't, I'm going in order, but, you can leave it behind, or leave it below. Until we meet again, take care of yourselves, stay cosmic. So Libra moons, that is it for you today. I'd love to hear below your experiences with this moon sign. The Libra moons that I know are just bubbly, charming, lovely individuals, so I'd love to connect with more of you. Next week will be Scorpio moon, just going, right into the depths of the underworld. Just kidding, Scorpio moons, I love you, but some things must be said. Love to hear below what you'd like to see from me, and until we meet again, take care of yourselves, stay cosmic.